My friends and I went to Argentina to celebrate New Year's all together. We planned a week of vacation at a place called El Chalten. This was the hiking capital of Argentina. After a 3-hour flight from Buenos Aires, we landed in El Calafate and rented a car to drive 3 hours to El Chalten. We planned activities for each day to keep us busy and exploring the place. On the first day, we went horseback riding, one of my most favorite things to do. We went to explore the mountains of El Chalten that made me want to move there permanently and become a gaucho. It was the best experience for me. Being on a horse, seeing untouched landscapes and riding on different terrain, this was just such a unique and wonderful experience that I was speechless. We even went as far as jumping over logs and dodging tree branches. I felt like I was in a medieval movie chasing after a bad guy. I forced all my friends to gallop since Argentinian horses were so well trained and safe. I think they had a great time. Then we also went to look at the waterfalls at El Chorrillo and did an off-track hike at the peak of the mountain. It was pretty tough climbing up the mountain, especially since the wind was working against us. I don't recommend doing an off-track hike, especially if you're not with someone who knows the area. Good thing we didn't get lost. Solen, George, and I went down while Anne climbed all the way to the top with Nico, Erwan, Adrian, and Arthur. Our staple food for lunch and dinner was of course Argentinian steak, salad, and fries. Oh, and dulce de leche. We would always have empanadas for snacks, and sometimes we would treat ourselves to a delicious cold beer after a long hike. There were absolutely no shopping malls or not much clothes to buy, so at one point all the girls were desperate buying new hiking gear, gloves, beanies, whatever we could buy. We did a 20-kilometer hike from El Chalten to Laguna de Torre and back, just to view the beautiful glaciers. The lake was freezing cold and my idiotic friend Nico dared himself to enter. He said his feet went numb. The water was below 0 degrees. Good thing he didn't get hypothermia. We took a break and had our sandwiches by the lake, and it was such a surreal view. The hike was relatively easy except for some parts going up, but the walk was definitely worth it. The glaciers were powerful and majestic. Then we went to El Calafate. El Calafate is a small town where tourists stop over to spend a day or two and have lunch there before going to their next destination. In El Calafate, we tried the slow-roasted Patagonian lamb, which Solen loved, but I still preferred the bife de chorizo. I love how Argentinians cook their meat slowly under a fire. Even though it takes long, I feel like it's worth the wait. The way they're passionate about the different cuts of meat makes you want to learn more about it. Then we went to view the glacier Perito Moreno, which is the largest of its kind. We trekked 17 kilometers on the glacier to view the unique landscape. I was tired, cold, and hungry. Suffice it to say, I was complaining a lot, but I enjoyed myself. Something I will never forget though is to always pack food on hikes, because we did this 5 to 6 hour hike with no food, and we had to share bread with all the other tourists who packed their own food. It was really embarrassing. We discovered the lakes within the glaciers, and Nico again jumped in. I don't know what's with him and jumping in freezing cold water. The whole experience was so amazing. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was like Pinterest images coming alive. Overall, our trip to Argentina was pretty tiring, but it was a good kind of tired. We had a lot of fun climbing. We told the boys that they tricked us bringing us here because we barely had Wi-Fi, we had no access to Snapchat or Instagram, and absolutely no shopping. But if there's one thing we enjoyed, it was spending time all together disconnected, breathing fresh air and appreciating Mother Nature's gift.